Alina and welcome. This is yoga for letting go of anger. So anger is something that can tighten the whole body, and we clench our fists and we clench our jaw and we're clenching in our low back, and we might not even really realize that we're holding on to all of this tension. So this class is going to be all about letting go of that tension, letting go of that anger in a really healthy, soothing way. It's going to feel like such a nice release. You're going to feel rejuvenated and calm at the end. Let's get started. So we're in a nice comfortable seat. If you're like me, I'm sitting in what we call Virasana, and I have a block underneath my seat, knees forward, feet back behind me. You can also come to a cross-legged seat if that's more available to you. And always, if your knees hurt or if this feels difficult to sit for too long, you just keep stacking more props underneath you. You just keep building yourself that throne. So hands will come to rest on the thighs. Let's close the eyes. Anger and frustration can live in so many places in the body, and I want to start our practice today with a breath practice that's really about getting stuff out. So it's called Kapala body breath. It's short, sharp exhales through the nose, and you can just focus on like thinking out, out, out to anything that's inside of you, whether that's mental or body or emotion or thoughts or memories or anger, anyone whatsoever. We're going to just direct it out of our body. So let's start by bringing our hands onto our belly, and I start by this because as we exhale through the nose, our low navel is going to pull in and up, in and up, in and up as we push out. So just watch me for a moment. I'm going to take a normal breath in, normal breath out, and then I inhale halfway through the nose, and now through the nose, okay. So as you can see, I'm not concerned about my inhale, I just worry about the exhale, and it's sharp. It's like out, 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 and my belly is snapping in and up. So let's give it a try. Bring your hands onto the belly just for that feedback. Close the eyes. Take a normal breath in, a normal breath out. Keep the mouth closed. Inhale halfway through the nose, and now through the nose, out. Good, and keep that going, and out, 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 out. And I like to imagine almost like a little broom moving through and just sweeping anything inside of me that is not serving me, that I want to get rid of. And then if you're really angry, if you're really frustrated, like put some energy behind it. It's out, 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 out. And if you want to take your hands up, we're going to take our arms up into a V shape, and we're going to keep going. And keep it going with me. You're going to reach a point where you want to stop, where you want to give up, and I'm going to ask you to just push a little bit beyond that boundary. We're in this together. Let's do it for 10 more. 9 and 10. As you inhale, take the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Hook thumbs. Hold your breath in. Take 3 more sips of air in through the mouth so that you feel super ripe and super full, and you can imagine a champagne bottle popping. Release the breath, release the arms alongside of you. Bring the hands onto the thighs. Notice how you feel. Really good work. Blink the eyes open. So hopefully you felt like you could kind of just get rid of some gunk inside of you, and now we'll put some movement to it. So come forward off of your seat, come into hands and knees, into a tabletop, and this can be a nice kind of loose tabletop. I'm not too particular about your alignment quite yet, and I just want you to start to draw really big circles around yourself. So I have my hands rooted down, but you can also come onto fingertips if you like that more. And this is just like moving around, especially if you're feeling frustrated or angry. It's like, let's just explore what that feels like. Explore where in the body it might be settling or hiding, and move it around so that we can literally move our emotions through us and in that out of us. Because emotions and feelings want to be fluid. They don't want to get pushed down. They don't want to get stuck. They want to be expressed in a really healthy, easy way. And the best way to do that is to just invite them in and then help move them out. So if you've just been going in one direction, make sure to stir and circle the other way. I like to think that I'm making brownies and I'm trying to get every last little morsel of the batter in the bowl, so you're like moving around in all these ways. Or maybe you're cleaning out a peanut butter jar and you don't want to waste any peanut butter. Okay, here we are. We should be about even back through center. And now tuck your toes, lift your hips high, and come to a forward fold somewhere on the mat. Feet can be nice and wide. Fingertips are there for balance. Head is gonna drop. Give your head a shake yes. Give your head a shake no. Take a nice deep breath in and flutter through the lips. Good. Let it be audible. Who cares? No one's there with you, and if they are, I'm sure that they're fine with you making a little bit of noise. Take a breath in and flutter through the lips. Good. One last little moment here, and then we'll slowly start to roll our way up to stand, coming into a mountain pose, Tadasana. And so you're gonna come all the way up, and we'll bring our feet about hips distance apart. It really doesn't matter as well for this. I don't really care where your legs are, but I do want them to be a little bit wider than touching each other, so you've got a nice wide stance. And then you're up here and you're standing. Okay, close your eyes. And I want you to bring your weight a little bit forward into the balls of the feet, so the heels are gonna lift up off the mat and then lower them down. Okay, and do it again. So it's like you're lifting up onto the toes and then you're lowering back down. And lift up onto the toes and lower back down. And then we're gonna start to make that a little bit faster. So there's almost like a bounce to it. Okay, so you're just lifting and lowering and lifting and lowering. And in that, your knees have to be a little bit soft so that you can kind of move around with it. And as you start to get used to this, maybe your arms start to like jiggle around a little, and maybe your hips start to sway a little side to side. And maybe this bouncing gets a little bit more dramatic to this point where you're like starting to catch some air underneath the feet. And the knees are nice and soft, and you're just kind of playing with it. And the eyes are closed because this is an internal experience. Who cares what you look like right now? I just want you to start to like let this movement almost just start to happen to you and through you. So you're not actually focusing on it. It's just starting to move as you move the body. And I want you to kind of move the shoulders and keep this bouncing. And maybe you start to bounce a little over to the right, and maybe you start to bounce a little over to the left, and maybe you bounce all the way around in a circle. Who cares? This is about just letting it go. Who cares what you look like? Who cares what you're doing? This is all about you. And then find the feet rooting down and start to shake your right leg out and really like kick and shake, and start to shake your left leg and kick and shake, and start to take your right arm and shake it all up around, and shake your left arm all up around, and move the shoulders and bend the knees. And we've got about 5 more breaths here, and I just want you to really let go. No one cares what you look like. Really let go. Shake, shake, shake. Jump around for 3 and 2 and 1, and then ground the feet, release the arms, eyes closed, breathe. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Good. Blink your eyes open. From here, take the arms all the way up to the ceiling, look up. As you exhale, it's going to be a big dramatic fold. Reach the arms back behind you, drop the head. Slow like that. Inhale, bend the knees, hook the thumbs in front of you, come all the way up, look up. Exhale, whoosh, let it go. Twice more like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it go. One more. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. This time, the hands will release back down to the floor. If you've kind of lost your way on the mat, bring yourself back to the front of the mat. And then step your left leg back. So you're coming to a low lunge. Tap the left knee down, point the left toes, take your arms forward and up. If this feels like a lot on the hip flexors, you just bring your hand onto that right knee and kind of push the knee away from you. We're stretching across the left hip flexor here. To add on, arms will come back up, hands will come to a prayer. You can either stay here, or we start to bring our left elbow outside the right knee, and we're going for a twist. The palms are pressing together. That's going to help us continue to find more space through the shoulder blades. Pushing the palms, it also helps with balance as well. Maybe you start to spin your vision up towards the ceiling. This is a wonderful place to stay. Balance can be difficult, so if you're struggling right now, just stay here and breathe. If you want to add on, we can tuck the back toes. If you want to add on, we can lift the back knee and we get really strong through that back left leg, and we're finding a deep rotation wherever you're working. 2 more breaths. It's like we're twisting through the spine, getting rid of any anger, tension, frustration that's being held in the spine. 1 more. Whew. And lower the hands back down. Lower the knee down if you had it lifted. Send the hips back for just a moment. Flex the front foot. Look forward. And then bend back into the front knee. Tuck the left toes. Lift the left knee. Step the left foot forward. You're back in a fold at the top of the mat. The head drops. Okay, from our forward fold, we're gonna now lunge our right leg back behind us. Low lunge, tap the right knee down, and take your arms up. Again, always option to leave the hands on the knees if that's where you're working. Arms are up if you're adding on, and then we bring our hands to a prayer at heart center. And when we do this, we wanna puff up the chest. We wanna get all this length here as the right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee. The hands are still pressing together. We're starting to rotate towards the left, maybe looking up to the ceiling. Staying here, maybe tucking the back toes, maybe lifting the back knee, and really staying strong through that back right leg, reaching forward through the crown of the head. 2 more breaths. And then the hands will come down, frame that front foot, lower the back knee, slide the hips back, flex the left toes, just a moment. Come back into the left knee, and you'll just step your left knee back towards the right and send the seat back. Come to lay on your back. So legs can swing around. Knees will stay bent, soles of the feet on the floor to start as you lower all the way down. And then from here, you'll lengthen the legs long. You'll allow the palms to come to face up alongside of you. Wiggle through the right toes, wiggle through the left toes, wiggle through the right fingers and the left fingers so that any little bit of movement or craving to move leaves, you get it out. And then you're left here in our Shavasana. Having moved through those emotions, having jumped and wiggled and shaken any kind of anger or frustration away. And then you just get to be here. What's left of you? And how are you feeling now? Is there anything else you still need to let go of? What part of you can you surrender? Good, nice deep breath in. Full breath out. Bend the knees and step the feet to the floor. Take your arms up overhead, hook for opposite thumbs, really big stretch. And then gently roll all the way over to the right. You have a little pillow for the face. You can pause here for as long as you like. There's never any rush to come up and out of this. When you feel ready, come up to a nice comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed. Sitting up tall, hands together to a prayer shape, heart center. Bowing the chin in towards the chest. Thanking yourself for having the bravery to move through those emotions. And setting an intention for what you'd like to carry with you throughout the rest of the day. It could be a word, a phrase, a feeling. Sealing our practice together. Blink the eyes open. Thank you so much. I will see you soon.